All right, what up, what up, people? So real quick, um, I just want to comment on something real quick. You have to understand, man, we just sit back and we watch the world go the horrible direction of which it's going. And then I just basically talk about it and evaluate what they're doing, and I get paid to talk about it, right? So I don't really care what y'all do, because at the end of the day, it's all Freemasonry. You're all Masons. You all sold your soul. Masonry is the family of Lucifer. And I was just looking at some previews, some videos of like those shows that I don't watch. I don't even watch TV for good reason because it's all programming. That's why it's called television programming, to program your mental. But that whole like Erica Mena show thing with that Aaron the plumber guy. I mean, first of all, Aaron the plumber is a sad case. I mean, he's a typical example of a complete simp beta male, right? And that's the whole thing. The simp beta males, they don't know how to be men. They've already succeeded and, pretending with you, but it's like, what's the point? I mean, they don't speak for real men. You get what I'm saying? So it's completely pointless, but it's all for show and it's what Illuminati does. Can we take any longer? It's what Illuminati does while they sit there and pretend. That's why they had that old movie back in the day, Transylvania. That's what they're really trying to turn this country into in the world. Um, that's why they push those agendas so hard. That's why they used like that musician, The Weeknd, and that's exactly what he is, the weak. He's weak as hell. Everything about him is weak as hell. He's done nothing but sell his soul and take orders from the Illuminati and the Masons and do what he's told like a good boy and a good puppet, right? And he took it to the extent of changing his looks, okay? And it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if you take a look at him, he's a complete joke. He was a joke out the gate from day one, and he already didn't look good, but now it looks ridiculous, right? Erica Mena is a nobody. I can't see any reason why anyone can be any louder. I don't see any reason why anyone, all right, especially any real man, would ever compete over Erica Mena. I mean, you could take one look at her. She's nothing to compete over. Let's get real with ourselves, right? She's a complete joke. And she, as well, Mason. So this is what you have in your society. You have a bunch of Masons, and you just basically have the agenda of the elites, the NWO, the New World Order, what's on your dollar. If you take a look at a dollar bill, if you pull one out right now that you have on you, you will see that the 10% of the pyramid is lifted off of that pyramid. Okay, the other percentile is the 90, which is all of the people, all of us. And the 10% like the fancy that they control the 90. And I believe the symbol is the eye. Number one, it's a reptilian eye. If you take a close look at it, it's the eye of a reptile because there's clearly a reptilian connection. And the reptiles, and I believe the grays, are who kind of pull the strings and run everything in the universe or in this system in this world. Can we take any longer again? Yeah, you can tell you in poverty land. Another one don't know what the hell they doing. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and not open my mouth, man. This is ridiculous. These people are just ridiculous. Like I said, they don't know how to focus on anything or focus on themselves. And they're just the same type of people. You know what I mean? And, my whole mentality and attitude every day is if anybody has anything to say, why not just say it? Like, I'm easy to talk to. You feel me? But like I said, people don't want to talk to me because they're all scared. That's reality. So, like I said, it is what it is. End of the day, like I said, the Masons, they run nothing but their mouth, right? And I've really been looking into. Hold on, like a rock was in my face. I've really been looking into that whole like concept with the eye, and I think it really has to do with the fact of just what they taught us. I think everything is a lie. I think it's been a lie since day one. I don't think I'm positive because I've already proven it to myself and to the public if you listen and you're smart enough to catch up to the content. But all they do is lie. That's why your public, all they do is lie. I mean, like I said, when you can't even have a straight conversation out here and you got people that they talk behind your back because they straight cowards and act like that's a normal ecosystem, like, no, people are going to have a problem with that. Like I said, I come through, I build an environment of respect. That's all that we take. That's all we put up with. You can play your games all you want. I really don't care what you do. But at the end of the day, that's what people do. They say it running away. And, they know that we don't tolerate their games and their nonsense. They dance around you and they talk behind your back. They got nothing to say in your face. When I'm around, everybody quiet as a mouse. Facts. I'm like Debo, right? When I leave, they be like, I got mind control over Debo, right? When he leave or when he here, I be quiet. But when he leave, when Tyree leave, I be talking again. That's how they are. Feel me? In reality. So, like I said, I mean, it's all a lie. I don't know about the earth being flat or round. I don't really care. I think there's some pretty convincing videos that it could be flat. I think that it makes a lot of sense, but I really have no idea and I really don't care. I mean, we either need a concrete answer or it's kind of pointless. I still feel like it kind of feels like we're on a globe. Gravity seems very real. It just seems like even when I'm walking, it just seems like this is not, it doesn't seem like a flat surface. It seems like we're on a globe, seriously. But again, I could be wrong. I don't know. But, and I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't make sense. I have no idea. It's pretty interesting to me now. I never really understood what the big fuss was about till now. But the other concepts are what are more important to me. Like I said, I am obsessed with this ice wall concept, and I truly believe it's a real thing. Dealing with Antarctica and like the South Pole and all that stuff, I think that's what it's all about. Okay. I don't know if that's why they invented the whole Santa Claus thing with the North Pole. I don't know if the North Pole really has much to hide, but I know Antarctica. Antarctica is south, I believe, right? As I need to look, I really don't even know. I don't pay attention, You get so busy being an adult, you don't have time to look into these things. But I think Antarctica is south, I would imagine, right? And I would imagine they would try to get attention away from that any way possible. I believe it's forbidden to travel there technically, but I've heard people did it anyway. And like I said, these people went on voyages. They took planes over there and supposedly live streamed it. Like they had like something called like a live link or something, and they went live and they streamed it, and supposedly people watched them go over the ice wall. I've seen other videos that claim that they are doing the same thing. I don't know if they're real, but it's pretty interesting, man. To me, it just makes perfect sense. I think there's a bunch of ice in that area. I don't know if Iceland is over there, but Antarctica. And I think what happens is you go towards the ice and everything looks one way because, you're in Antarctica and you think everything is freezing. And then I think there's a gateway, and that might be what we refer to as Hollow Earth. And I think that's the gateway to get in. And I think Hollow Earth is very real. I heard there's giants there, and that the fruit and vegetables are bigger, and that they have their own sun, supposedly. But I think that's what's going on. And like I said, if I'm getting downloads saying that their secrets are underground, again, I don't know if that's here. It's not really my concern right now, but I would be concerned if there was truth to it. But I definitely think a lot of what the Illuminati does, as well as with the child trafficking, that, like I said, the corrupt departments have already been caught red-handed doing that. Okay. What do you think they have tunnels in? They have tunnels. There's videos that prove it out. Okay. They have tunnels underground. That's how they do it. It has to be. It's common sense. They have tunnels that connect to all the mainstream hotels. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm sure whatever the hell I'm breathing off of these trucks is not good. It's another thing. I'm sure they use trains to do it as well. That would make sense. Um, but yeah, I think they have underground tunnels that lead into hotel rooms. And I think the elites have been doing this since the beginning of time. And that's how they make their money. Because from what I've heard and researched and studied, it's a $1 billion industry, which makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then, of course, you know, they deal with older people too. They don't care. They do not care. Okay. And then that's how they've done all their, what trafficking, I think, since the beginning of time. And I mean, yeah, that's got to be a $1 billion industry. And then that's where you get the Jeffrey Epsteins and all that. And then, all these presidents and politicians showing up to the parties when that was happening. And then, of course, what happened to him in prison, I believe, which was clearly targeted, right? Because, they were probably afraid the secrets were going to get out. Okay, the secrets are already out. Everybody's figuring it out. It's all out in the open. The knowledge is all public knowledge with what happened with Diddy. He practices that, Jay-Z. Any Mason does. It's what Masons do. Masons, what I believe, have been running an empire based off of child trafficking and what trafficking since the beginning of time. And that's how they make their money. And what's even worse is they include the youth in their practices, and they actually have them on camera admitting and acknowledging what they drink, which, I mean, I'm not going to say on here because there's rules, but you can kind of figure it out what I'm saying. And they drink that, and I think that they believe it gives them immortality. So the concept of vampirism and vampires is extremely real because that's what they're practicing right out in the open. Like I said, this is how they create their monarch mind control programs, their MK Ultra. If you study how they do MK Ultra, it's absolutely horrible. Okay, and it's all a trauma-based program, so they have to create and enforce the traumas. Okay, I also believe that it's tied into YouTube and these corporations like IBM that Tommy Sotomayor, the cult leader, worked for. And that's why those corrupt departments, when they showed up on camera to investigate, quote unquote, it was all fake. And they were literally looking underneath mattresses and going, oh, there's no kids here, like trying to make a joke of it. There's nothing funny about what y'all are doing, bro. These people are sick. Okay. And it's a lot of people, and it's the majority of the country. And like I said, people have to stand up to them. And I'm one who has stood up to this entire system. It's completely corrupt and disgusting and sick. And I think this is what it's all about. So it all is connected to that ice wall in some way, shape, or form, in my opinion. They say there's beings over there that have they're like nocto something. They're nocturnal. Their eyes have adjusted. The sun supposedly doesn't set in some part of, when you get past the ice wall. But I don't know. I don't know if Hollow Earth has its own sun or if they just have no sunlight. But they're supposed to be like noctoluminescent beings Their eyes have adjusted. I don't know. They depict them like their eyes are lit up like lights. And basically, you wouldn't want to be caught over there around these people by yourself because they would basically have to show us mercy because, I mean, they're just trained differently, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's part of why, like, we're not supposed to be around them because I don't know how that would work out. Now, Batman, I'm just obsessed with the concept, man. I mean, I would love to go past the ice wall and see what the hell was over there. But like I said, I mean, you would basically have to be Batman and you would have to come up against whatever gets in your way, basically, you know, on camera. So maybe we'll get to that point if we get enough money. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll, you know, allow us to do a voyage over there or we'll just have to do it. I don't know. But it's pretty interesting, man. You know, like I said, there's been a lot of people that have been silenced. I will never be silenced, but there's been a lot of people that they've silenced because they don't want the truth getting out. And this is just the world we were born into. Like I said, don't get mad at me. I didn't make it. I'm trying to do everything to change it. It's an evil world, man. This is definitely the devil's den. There's not much that's really good here, is what I'm figuring out. It's all evil and all the people are evil. And we're going to have to change that. One way or another, we're going to have to figure it out and make a real change. But that's what's going on. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. And it's pretty obvious, so that. Had a good day playing basketball today. Like I said, you see I got quite a bit of footage. Pretty quickly, it's pretty easy. Then I create my short videos and they should all make money. They should all get views. I got to run this check up as quickly as possible, man. I want to get that over that $100 threshold this time as quickly as possible. That way I can get another check secured. And I know that's coming in. That's the first step right now because I just got to be on point because everything costs too much money. Like I said, I'm having to pay for everything. Price of food is too high, though I do pretty well with managing it. But I mean, even, you know, just the deal for what I'm getting with a hot dog and whatever, a drink and chips is like $4 plus. You know, everything is just too expensive. So when it comes to, you know, everyday expenses, it gets pricey real quick. So that's the thing, is it's hard to keep any money, and I'm just tired of that. So I'm trying to go hard with this business. Hopefully we can try to get this going and get in a groove with it. You know, it's not easy. And like I said, I mean, me personally, I just start doing intermittent fasting when I can, and I just get what I can, you know, and I kind of just eat differently, and I've figured out a way to kind of do it that works for me, you know. I think I got some cupcakes, Hostess cupcakes, because I like those. I had some Oreo cakesters earlier. I have a sweet tooth, obviously, or lack thereof, right? Um, and then what else? I think I got some buffalo chicken in a little box. I use those. I'll put them on bread and eat them like a sandwich. Those are pretty good. So I could do that later. What else? Like I said, I try to drink these fruit juices like the Jumex, the guava, and the mango. Um, I can just feel there's a lot of fruit sugar in that. I don't know if that's good or bad. And then, like I said, I got this pink Himalayan sea salt. I looked it up. It says you can use it with cooking, so it has to be edible. But I'm not going to cook it. If I eat it, I'm just going to eat it straight. So hopefully I'll be all right with that. But it wouldn't be that much, but I'd eat a little bit of it. And they say it has minerals in it, and it's all minerals you need from what I'm reading. So I would think that it would help me a lot with everything I do, especially as much as I sweat. And, you know, I've drank water, but I keep hearing too about downloads I get about salt. And, you know, I think that would really help me because I'm sure I'm losing a ton of salt every day. And I wonder if that's half the problem. Because for a while, like, I was eating some salt and it felt like for like a day before that it was helping. And then, of course, you know, I still have problems. So I can't figure it out. But that was regular, probably iodized salt. This salt is different and it has some minerals. And then there's one better than this. I'm not going to give game out for free, but I know what it is. And it's a type of salt. And I'll have to just see if I can get a hold of it somehow. if it's down here or if I got to try to order it at some point. I don't know. Sure, it's not that expensive, but maybe I don't know. But it's got more minerals. It's supposed to be even better than this pink salt, right? Pink Himalayan sea salt. But we'll give that a try first, and hopefully I'll be all right and see how it goes. But I mean, it says you could use it for cooking, so imagine you can eat it. Other than that, like I said, I don't know. I've figured out this whole society, man. I figured out the whole thing. I think that's what it's all about. They don't want us going over that ice wall, and it's all about controlling us. And they don't want us to figure out who we are for some odd reason. It's a mystery. So like that's the point I'm trying to figure out is like, that's the whole concept of Batman. Y'all don't get, like I said, I do real training. I trained today. I got a video doing the little mini pull-ups, inertia pull-ups, whatever you want to call them. They work. And then I do regular pull-ups. I just didn't film it. I can't really film everything because my phone screen is already messed up. So I don't want to risk setting it down all the time because then the wind starts blowing. And then if it falls, it's going to probably ruin the whole phone. And I just paid the plan. So, I get a little nervous about that. I might start trying to film from the grass. That way, at least it can land in the grass because that's what happened. I put it in my pocket one day and just because of all y'all's negative energy, wasn't thinking and paying attention and it fell. And, I just got too much on my plate and too much going on. But I think that's what it's all about. I think it's about that ice wall and the secrets behind it. Maybe Hollow Earth. I think it definitely has to do with grays, reptilians. And this is the stuff that interests me. I don't care about people saying things that don't make any sense. Like I said, none of that stuff is true. No, it's just what it is. I mean, like I said, all these people are corrupt. They did everything to hold me back. They put me in this position. And it just makes things a little bit hard, but I mean, at the same time, it makes me tougher because of it. So I can't really, do much. I can't change it. I just got to roll with it. So that's what I try my best to do is roll with everything and have it build me and hopefully make me stronger and hopefully get through it. That's all I can say because I'm still having problems that I just shouldn't be having because things should be easier. Other than that, like I said, all these people, they don't do nothing. They don't help. All they do is help themselves and they're just selfish and entitled, friend to none of you. And I don't care what you have to say. That's the thing. I'm not here for people who, they just mad and have gripes. I mean, come on, bro. I've done the whole thing for real, man. I'm from the streets, bro. Like, I'm free. I have my freedom. I'm good. Like, I got a crystal clear record, basically. No felonies. I get to wear my bulletproof vest and run my business. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm happy about all that. And I came a long way and went through a lot. So I'm not going to sit here and trip on everybody because that would be the wrong thing to do. It's not going to help me. It's not conducive to my situation. It's better to just try to ignore you, which is what I do. That's why I tell y'all, don't bring stuff my way. I'm not trying to talk to none of you. There ain't nothing to talk about at all because I'm trying to be a cool customer. And that's what they want. They want you to get upset because they already know who you are and what you're about. You know what I mean? So they just want an excuse because really they just trying to trick you off your throne. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. That's all it's been since day one. And it ain't going to happen. And we don't play games like that. Feel me? So, like I said, I know how to do this, man. I've been doing this my entire life. I know how to win. There's more than one way to approach things, right? So, I mean, it's easy. Feel me? But like I said, that's the facts that need to be established. I mean, all of you are sitting there and you're worshiping money, which means you worship Satan. It's the root of all evil for a reason. And it says in God we trust, which I don't understand because I know personally, I truly believe that God is real and that he is a good person, good guy, good entity, and that he is coming back and he's here to help us as well as, possibly Jesus Christ, obviously. So I don't understand. I've never been able to understand that why they all claim to believe in God because it's clearly not the same God. Because you people are evil and you're Masons and you do all this evil stuff, and I have nothing to do with Masonry and I have nothing to do with you or what y'all do. I'm literally trying to stop it all, So, like I said, I'm just a good person, man. I'm not really concerned about, we're all evil and we're against you. So what? What are you going to do? Nothing. All y'all are like 3 feet tall and you're cowards. I mean, I can't even take you seriously. You know what I mean? Like they're all a joke, bro. I don't care what you're talking about. You feel me? Like, yeah, I'm me. I'm gonna be a good, righteous man through and through. I don't care what nobody thinks or tells themselves. Feel me? But I just find that ice wall thing so interesting. I'm gonna be doing more research about it and everything consisting of it. I watch documentaries on this stuff. Um, like I said, I try to study and work at my craft. Um, I don't know. As far as the street ball, I'm real happy with the skill level. Like I said, I'm getting better at handling the ball even with one hand. Um, I mean, I'm clearly, have the best skills as far as dribbling and handling in the world. I mean, it's obvious. So it's like I have a skill to exhibit that I'm going to continue to get paid off of, and I get paid to do this through this. So it's like I'm not really worried about anyone. I'm like I might as well just try to focus on me, like always, and just forget about all the extra nonsense and going out my way so much, and just try to do what I can do, what's available to me, and be content and happy with that. Because these people down here, they so jealous and envious and weird and one-sided that it's pointless for me to even like even talk to y'all. It's a waste of my time because I already know what you're all on. You've all made your position clear. I was not here to entertain you. The Batman thing was never about entertainment. It was about doing the real thing. I accomplished what I accomplished in a place that has no love for me or my people or my group that I belong to. So why would I care how you feel? You know what I mean? Like, I care less, man. Feel me? I do me. I live my beautiful life. And I don't really care how anybody feels about me or anything. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you permission to exist, am I? I'm doing me. Feel me? I'm not shrinking for nobody, like I said. So it is what it is. See here. But I don't know. I just think that everything we've been taught has been a lie. I've known this for a long time. And I think there's land masses over that ice wall. I think there's tons of land. I think the world is a lot bigger than the map. And I think even in the Bible, it talks about there was some video. I didn't get to go through it because I'm not patient enough, but it was saying something about that. Like, I think the map is upside down or something. And I think it's a lot bigger. Like, there's other land masses. I think if you get over that ice wall, there may be infinite land that we don't know about because they're keeping it a secret. And that's the trick, is why are they doing this? Why, like, there's theories that, like I said, they have like laboratories, like incubation laboratories, and that's how they birthed all of us. Is that true? I think that's more interesting than anything y'all talking about. They're saying that's how they populated these colonies on these 7 continents. These land masses are manipulated. That means we're like an experiment. That's what I think happened. And it makes sense with the hybrid thing with Anunnaki and stuff. Like, I think that's why you have people like me that are practically like invincible. I mean, I don't care what nobody tells you. I've been proven to basically be invincible. I mean, if you can understand what I'm overcoming every day, what happened to me, what these people did to me when they called Seton Hospital, and what those doctors did, and they know they're guilty, right? And I'm taking it to court and filing a lawsuit. If you could understand, you would understand I'm immortal. Like, literally. I mean, what I've sustained here is something you can't bounce back from. For me to even be able to walk and talk and be active is a miracle. So I just am trying my best to figure that out. Like I said, trying to figure out like what I can, intake in my body that's going to help. And I've been trying to figure it out for a long time, man. I'm not sure if there's one answer. I think it might be a combination of things, but I'm doing the best I can. But I think that that's why you have people like me, and that's what the concept of Batman has to do with. You know, I was the only rapper who made a connection to Anunnaki. My album Simpletons is on Google. You can look it up. It was one of the first albums I put out, and I drew the picture of me holding a sign that says Anunnaki, and there's like a little alien spaceship in the back because I've always been into this stuff, and I truly believe it. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I was doing that as well because I guess part of me kind of knew that maybe I had a connection to it. And that's what I'm trying to figure out for me. Like, I truly believe I have a connection to this stuff. I don't know if I'm from that lineage from Anunnaki. I have no idea, but I definitely think I'm different than most human beings. You know what I mean? I think that I've displayed and proven that, and without trying. And it's just interesting to me. I'm just trying to figure it out. You know who I am. I think anybody would. Like the penguin. My name is Oswald Cobblepot. Uh, I am an animal. The real penguin is awesome in the movie. But yeah, like I said, other than that, I don't know. I don't really care about anything else anybody talking about. I got some videos I'll put out, and other than that, just doing me and chilling, man. You know what I mean? Everybody else, I don't know what y'all focus on. I'm focused on research right now. So talk to y'all later, man.